So I've done ayahuasca, mushrooms. I was in a relationship with one of Wim Hof's top teachers, so I've done a lot of ice baths and cathartic breathing. I've done holotropic breathing. I've been a part of many different types of spiritual rituals. And over time, my relationship to spirituality has changed drastically. In fact, I don't participate in any of these things anymore. And to be clear, I think that these are very meaningful and legitimate pathways. But my emphasis became more and more on regulation, embodiment, and sustained states of consciousness, rather than what is sometimes called state pumping. So a lot of spiritual culture these days is oriented around big states, cathartic experiences, releasing things, and entering into expanded states of consciousness through excitation by getting the nervous system and the body heightened. And to be clear, these are really meaningful, potent experiences and can be absolutely essential in somebody's healing path or as a sustained practice or pathway in general. The thing about it is, I started to learn more about how the nervous system protects itself and takes care of itself, and it became far more important for me to not override the protective mechanisms in my nervous system and in my psyche, and it became more important for me to create a kind of safety and to understand these mechanisms. In other words, there's a reason that we lose contact with certain states of consciousness or parts of ourselves. Our body, our nervous system is protecting itself. When we go through a traumatic event that is too much for us, the nervous system starts to create a way of protecting itself from that overwhelm. Many of these different types of medicine or cathartic processes are built as a way to kind of override or get beyond that protective state, to get the emotion moving, to get the energy moving, and ultimately to open us up to other states of consciousness. And on the other side, integrate some of what we've experienced. Again, there's a lot of research that shows the positive impact on PTSD, on individuals that are trying to integrate elements of themselves that have been stuck for a very long time. So I'm not undermining those different pieces. It just became more important for me over time to create a quality of trust with my nervous system. And I couldn't do that by coming to a place in my nervous system that said, no, this isn't safe, and overriding that. I started needing to create more awareness and more relationship in myself such that I created safety by hearing that no and honoring it. And in doing so, that trust started to build and things started to open in a more sort of sustainable, slow, but progressive way. This, of course, can be summed up in the phrasing, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. In other words, when we override things, we might open stuff up and have big experiences that feel profound and are profound, but then we've kind of created a fallback. There's like a rubber band effect where I overrode, I broke trust with myself, I did open up, but then the nervous system wants to protect itself again. It comes back to a place. So many people that have those big cathartic experiences that have huge openings, you'll notice that then there's a retraction period where you have to go back and the integration can take a long time. And so for me, it became more important that I was building a smooth quality of trust where I don't need to break trust with myself. I don't need to break through the no's in my system, and many of which that was the origin of their hurt in the first place, a no that wasn't heard. So I don't want to be that comes in and then doesn't hear it again and overrides it because I have an idea of where I need to be. Instead, that slower process of cultivating trust became far more important. The other thing that became really clear for me over time was that I was starting to associate spiritual states with a kind of either nervous system excitation, right? I'm either utilizing a medicine or I'm exciting my nervous system with a type of breath practice with fundamental consciousness or spiritual states. The misperception there is that consciousness, awake states of consciousness, are somehow associated with biological states. The truth is, fundamental consciousness, the ground of being, the quality of nowness, presence, God consciousness, whatever it is that you want to call it, that is at the base of all things, that is already here. You know, when somebody like an Eckhart Tolle invites us into presence, or you hear people speak from a non-dual perspective, it is already here. It's not based on being able to open my nervous system to a particular level and then reach a particular state of consciousness. That consciousness is already here. And I started to find that I didn't want my awake states to be associated with a kind of cathartic process or with taking a particular medicine. I wanted to be associating awakeness with something that is fundamental and normal and already here. This is just for me and many years ago, but my process, I didn't want it getting confused with, oh, I'm experiencing this awakeness because last week I took something, or I'm experiencing this awakeness because I broke open something in my consciousness. I wanted to be finding my relationship with my awakeness to be something that was a result of me just fully being here. Yes, lots of deep meditation, which created an association with being deeply here and embodied in myself, but taking away these other elements. I didn't want so much noise around the qualities of awakeness and the states of consciousness that were coming in. I think state pumping, where we're consistently utilizing something to reach either a kind of regulation, momentary self-regulation, or states of awakeness, can have sort of an addictive quality. So there becomes this process of constantly needing to excite things, excite my nervous system, or take some sort of medicine in order to get into those heightened places, and that becomes the pathway of my spirituality again and again. For me, it was more and more important that awakeness was not something that needed to be pumped into. It was something that was fundamental. And I think that this is an important philosophical orientation. The question is, what if awakeness is something fundamental, something inherent, and not something that we need to manufacture through different state pumping practices? So for me, the goal became less about peak experiences and more about authentically being here. So again, there are many pathways, and I'm merely speaking to my own, and the reason that some of those practices that were speckled in with my own integration and awakening and spiritual path started to disappear until they just became unimportant at some point for me. That doesn't mean that that's the right way. It's just the way that things evolved for me. For me, it became more and more important that I wasn't overriding aspects of myself to get somewhere, but more and more about truly embracing being here as a pathway towards greater love for myself, trust, and greater fundamental awakening to what is.